Namaskaram. Welcome to day 67 of the Safe Soil Journey. And today I thought we'll explore about Surya Kriya. Yesterday we were learning about Surya Shakti and how one can make use of this practice to build physical fitness and strength. And we were discussing how this is something which is derived from Surya Kriya, which is the original practice from which Surya Namaskar and Surya Shakti were derived. So Surya Kriya is the original practice to align the system according to the sun cycles, and this is something which Sadhguru has mentioned about in so many forums. You may have heard about this practice. This is one practice which if people start doing this practice, they can in just a few days of practice itself, they can notice how the system is behaving in a very different way, and the way it helps you to train your mind. There are no parallels to it. So this is something which is like a very sophisticated practice, which involves using the mind, the body, the breath in a certain way. So and this is very subtle. So if you are looking to learn a very subtle and very powerful form of Hatha Yoga, then Surya Kriya is a wonderful practice to get started with. This, at least you need to be 14 years of age to do this practice. It is not suitable for children. So for anyone above 14 years, they can learn this practice. So if you're just like any other practice which we discussed in the last few days, same thing with Surya Kriya as well. If you're having any physical condition, like you having a chronic ailment or any health issue or spinal related injuries, back problems, so if you have any of these conditions, it's best that you consult with your physician before you attempt to learn this practice from any Hatha Yoga teacher. It can only be taught offline, in person, and not online. So please do not attempt to learn it online or look for it online. It's not available online. Someone may have irresponsibly uploaded their video practicing Surya Kriya, but don't follow that, because this is something you cannot learn online. You have to do it in a certain way under the guidance of a teacher, and the way you have to use your breath and your mind. This is something which can come only with practice. So with these Hatha Yoga practices, one more thing which you need to take care of is that you may not get to the perfect postures in just a few weeks of practice. So you need to continuously practice this, and also see if you can attend a review session every 6 months, because you'll see every time you go for a review session, you'll find so many you may find the teacher letting you know about so many things which you are doing wrong, or you may need to fine tune and correct. So as in when you continue doing the practice, you will see that there's so much of refinement which needs to be done to your practice, and it's a constantly evolving process. So it is not something which you just learn and then you think that that's it. This is something you need to constantly refine. Even after years of practice, you may still need to pay more and more attention to refine your posture, because only if the posture is aligned in a certain way, it just helps to download the cosmos. It's like if you just hold the antenna right, you just get the signal properly. So just think of the body like an antenna. Just holding the body in a certain way, it can help download the energy. So this is something which requires a lot of precision and attention. These practices cannot be done without paying attention. So if you have started with some practices like Surya Shakti, Angamardana, then it builds your body in a certain way, and then if you learn Surya Kriya, it will be phenomenal. Actually, you will see that it will be more effective. But even otherwise, if you just want to directly start off with Surya Kriya, that is also fine. You need to dedicate at least about 45 minutes on a daily basis to practice this. And once again, like any other practice, you can increase the number of cycles for Surya Kriya, starting with one cycle, and you can go on increasing the number of cycles. So it's not about doing more number of cycles, it's just about seeing how intensely involved you are in each cycle. So please see if you can learn this practice. If you can contact a Hatha Yoga teacher nearest you and learn this practice. We also do these Surya Kriya programs once in about 4-5 months in Bangalore. If you wish to go through the same, you can visit our website and fill up the inquiry form for Surya Kriya, so that we can intimate you when we do our program next. And if you've been practicing Surya Kriya from a long period of time and have noticed any changes and benefits in your system, please share it with us. We would love to hear your stories. Please share your name, where you're from, how long you've been practicing Surya Kriya, and what benefits you have noticed doing the practice, and what was your experience just learning this practice. How did you feel about it? So this is one practice where I've heard so many people being just completely touched in a very different way just as they do the practice. And this is not very physical in nature. It is physical in terms of physical postures. It may look very similar to Surya Namaskar in terms of the postures, but it is very different from Surya Namaskar in terms of how you hold the breath and etc. So you may think that you know it, but there's a lot of difference in terms of how the practice is done. So this can be done very slowly and gently. And if you're looking for something which is very meditative in nature, even though it has physical postures, then this is one practice which you will like very much, which you'll relate to very much. So hope to hear from you about how this practice has enhanced you, and if you wish to learn, you can see how to make use of the same. So please see if you can continue sharing about safe soil, and in the next video we'll explore another practice which one can make use of. Namaskar.